Sadly, that is an F. Hello and welcome back to the Knitting Page channel. If you're new here, my name's Paige and I'm the face behind the Knitting Page. Today I have a fun video for you that I have never done before, but that I really like consuming, and that is rating everything I've knit on a scale of A to F. As a teacher, I'm also definitely aware of this grading scale and what constitutes an A+, what constitutes an F. And so for today's knitting episode, an A+ is a piece that I would 100% recreate in the exact same way. The yarn is great, the pattern's fun to knit, it's incredibly wearable. It is just an A+ piece. It's a constant part of my wardrobe, and it's a constant piece that I just feel like I'm tempted to knit again, or that I have knit again, or that I would really like to knit again, and it's just like A+ in all the categories. Something in the B range, because I will be doing like the pluses, the minuses, and the straight grades, but something in the B range is like, it's a wearable piece, I like it, I reach for it, it was a good pattern, but there's something off about it that doesn't bring it all the way into that A+ range. Now, something in the C range is, it's a good piece, but there's definitely some like changes I would make if I were to re-knit it today. A D is like, it's barely wearable, but I reach for it, I appreciate it. Something's off with the yarn, something's off with the pattern. And an F is just an absolute flop. I never reach for it, the yarn sucks, etc. And so I'm gonna be going through every single one of the cardigans I have knit that are in my possession, rating them on a scale from A+ all the way down to F and everywhere in between. I'm wearing just a basic white t-shirt and jeans today, so I can give you like a just basic outfit with each of these cardigans. And I am going to be going in chronological order from when I knit them. Now, I have knit some other pieces that I do love, but that I have given away to dear friends and families that won't be making it. They won't be making it in this video because I do want to keep it to the pieces that I have currently in my possession. So let's get started. The first cardigan that I have is the Novice cardigan by Petite Knit that I knit in this Malabrigo yarn quite a few years ago now. This was the first ever, this is actually a lie, it's not the first ever cardigan I knit, but this is the first one I knit in like the modern knit day kind of like petite knit era of knitting. I knit one before that was basically just a whole bunch of rectangles that you seam together to knit up. But this was the first one that I knit. I didn't really understand gauge. I didn't really understand yarn weight. And so I knit this cardigan, which is the Mohair edition, which was supposed to be knit with double-stranded mohair on 4mm needles using fingering weight yarn that I had gotten from this yarn store that was closing in Thunder Bay called Olives and Bananas. I didn't really understand variegated yarn at the time either, and so this is probably going to be the best that you get on. I can also stand up, give you a little stand-up look of the cardigan. So the Novice cardigan by Petite Knit is a circular yoke pattern, which is one that I'd never knit any cardigan before, and I understand the simplicity of a circular yoke for a beginner. But as you can see, if I go closer, I have all these holes because I was doing my increases, but I wasn't like knitting through the back loop, etc. So there's these holes in my increases because I was basically doing a yarn over to make them, but not knitting through the back of the yarn over, so it didn't have that open gaping stitch. The other thing is I just did a regular bind off, and so there is very little flexibility and stretch in the cuffs. I would definitely do a tubular cast off now if I were to re-knit this. I also knit it off gauge. As I said, I used a fingering weight yarn for really like a DK worsted weight garment. I forget what size needles I used, maybe 3.5mm needles for this fingering weight cardigan. I do reach for it honestly quite a bit. And because of that, I'm just writing it down because I'm looking down because I wrote all of my ratings, but I would give it a C+, because there are a lot of things that I would change about this cardigan. You can also see like the variegated of the cardigan meant for some like stripiness that happened on the sleeve compared to like the body of the cardigan, and I don't love that. I probably would have alternated skeins to avoid some of the stripiness. The cuffs are too tight. There's holes with the increases in the yoke of the cardigan. But it is a piece that I surprisingly reach for quite often, and I wear it quite a bit. So because of that, I give it a C, because it's not totally unwearable, but I definitely wouldn't knit it the same way again, even though it does come out to play in my wardrobe. So I was on a kick with the Novice cardigan by Petite knit. When I first started knitting, I kind of just kept to like my tried and trues of what I knew. And I knit this guy, which is the Novice cardigan, again, using the same Mohair cardigan, but knitting it off gauge using Drops Melody in this bright pink pattern. And again, there are things about this one. I didn't change my bind off. I did get better at my increases. I knit this pink cardigan and I actually wear this all the time. Now, one thing I'm not very good at when it comes to cardigans is like making sure the buttons are all like lined up nicely, if you know what I'm talking about. Like there's this little hole here. Don't love that. I'm pretty sure this cardigan also went through the wash, because I'm pretty sure it fits smaller than when I first cast it off. Like the sleeves are a little bit short, but overall I wear it a lot. And a big part of that is because every Wednesday I wear pink to work. And if I don't wear pink, I hear it from my students. And so this is my pink cardigan. I also have a pink April cardigan, but I have gifted that one away. And this is one that I do wear every other week, if not multiple times a week, sometimes depending on what the vibe is. And Drops Melody was an affordable yarn. It's super fun. It's super fluffy. I again wish I did tubular cast off instead of just regular like knitted off bind off. I did improve on my circular yoke. I knit, I think, an extra small, but on larger needles. So I've never actually knit the Novice cardigan on the size needles that it recommends. But because of that, I have improved it a little bit. I do rate it a B-. So it went up from a C for my original Novice cardigan to a B- because I do get more wear out of it. I think a large part of it is because it's pink and it's the only pink knitted garment that I have. And so I do wear it as much as possible in the wintertime, which is almost every week. I do switch it up a little bit. I have a pink blazer that I'll also throw into the rotation. But this is one that I find I do wear, but I would definitely knit it longer. I would knit the sleeves longer. I would do a tubular cast off, and I would definitely redo the buttons, which I know I can do now, but I've just been kind of lazy. As you probably get it, that you probably have knits that you want to make corrections to as well, but you don't, just because of time, effort, and you'd rather just produce something new. And so this Novice cardigan is a tried and true favorite. But there's definitely changes I would make. Would still probably use Drops Melody though. Love this yarn for this cardigan. I'd probably though find a better suited pattern for Drops Melody than knitting it off gauge. So second cardigan, B-, and it's the final version of the Novice cardigan by Petite knit. So after I knit the Novice cardigan, I also made the Miles shirt jacket by Ozetta, but that's sadly no longer in my possession either. And so I kind of took a break from cardigan knitting. I did a lot of summer tops, and I think the next piece that I knit is a cardigan by Florence Miller. So this is the next cardigan I knit, and this is the tie front cardigan by Florence Miller. I knit it using a sock weight yarn in this neon green color and Cama Rose Midnatsol in their sunny lime color, or their lime colorway. It's funny, I never wear this cardigan, but I'm seeing myself in my camera and I actually quite like the look of it with like the white tee on underneath. I think it's quite cute and darling. But this is a cardigan that I feel like I don't give enough love to. It was supposed to have two I-cord ties, but I kind of just got lazy when doing the I-cord ties, and so I just did the one, and it kind of reminded me of my Lonely Leftovers vest that I wear all the time. Because I don't reach for this all the time, the yarn is honestly really nice, and I think like it is a fairly neutral ease cardigan where the majority of the cardigans I have are more oversized. And so this, because of that, I don't reach for it a lot. It also, I had a student borrow it to put on a production of The Grinch, and they wore this cardigan as the Grinch. And now I can't unsee it being like a Grinch cardigan, even though I think if I were to give you like a little outfit, I think the fit is kind of giving. And I think I need to wear this more often. But I think as it stands currently, I give this one a C+ because the yarn combo is great, but I definitely don't reach for it as much as I should, and I don't wear it a lot. And so because the wearability is low, even though the yarn combo is great and it's a cute silhouette, it is at the C+ because I do wear my Novice cardigans more, but this is like overall nicer finishing. I was a bit more advanced in my knitting skills, and so it is a C+, even though I think I could reevaluate after this fall, seeing if I pull it into rotation a bit more, and it could go up to a B+ range, I think. I don't think it's ever going to be an A+ because of the color. It's super fun and super funky, but it's just, I feel like an A+ piece I can wear all the time with everything, and this is obviously not a color I can wear with all the time and everything. So, Tie Front Cardigan by Florence Miller, third cardigan I knit that I have, and sitting at a C+. So this next cardigan I knit is one that I really, really wanted to love, but I can't. And this is the Ruffle cardigan by Knitharina. And this was one that I test knit. And her sample photos are so stinking cute. And something's happening with the ruffle. It's like, it's not giving. It gives me like, let me stand up and I'll show you. Like, there's something wrong with the way this fits me. Even though her piece was super lovely, like the ruffle's not ruffling, it's too gapey here, and the yarn is so itchy. Like, it is so itchy that I just find it, even if it was cute, I could not wear it. And I used this like random thrifted wool. I was trying to be savvy. Like, there's probably a reason it was at the thrift store, and I held it with Midnatsol, thinking that the Midnatsol would like bring it to life and like give its alpaca fluff, and it just irritates me. And the other thing is that like the cuff is too tight for me to like easily slide on and off, and this was an absolute flop. And I do think I'm going to frog it and turn it into a vest or something like that, because I think I would get more wear out of a vest, knowing that like, especially if it was like a v-neck vest, it would never necessarily have to be touching my skin, and so the itch factor wouldn't truly apply to it. And or the other thing, like, I just don't see myself doing this, but is separating the wool from the alpaca silk, just because I think it's like worthy of that. And like the alpaca silk I do really love, and I've used Midnatsol a lot, but this cardigan is a flop. And it pains me to have like a test knit from a designer and a knitter that like I truly admire. Like, Knitharina does so many great things. Her sample was knit out of cashmere, which I just feel like you can't compare cashmere to this random itchy thing that I knit. And so sadly, the Ruffle cardigan for me is a F. I've never worn it outside of the house. Like, I have a couple sample photos posted on Instagram, and aside from that, like, I've never worn it. And even wearing that, like, it's very hot. And I think you can maybe relate to this as well, but like when something is really hot, it like makes me itchy, if you know what I'm talking about. And that cardigan definitely brings out the itch factor. So sadly, that is an F on my cardigan knitting. Time for another one. So the next cardigan I knit is my cardigan number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. Now this cardigan, I also made this cardigan out of some random woolen mohair that I had gotten from a shop that was closing in Thunder Bay, but larger gauge. The saddle shoulder construction on this sweater is just so lovely. I am a huge fan of saddle shoulders. I think I always will be. Mr. Running is a huge fan of saddle shoulders because his tried and true Lakes pullover is a saddle shoulder, and so that's really the only sweater he knows. But this cardigan number 9 is a huge success, and it's one I would remake. I have this one sitting at an A. I would reuse the yarn combo, even though I have no idea what red wool I held it with. The red mohair was discontinued, but I do wish, and I could probably go and fix this, but like I just wish the toggles didn't like open up, as I was mentioning before. And if you have any tips for that, like please let me know. I love a cardigan, but that's one thing. As soon as I put the buttons on, something changes about it. But let's also scooch back so I can show you. She's cute, she's wearable, I love the statement red. This was one that I kind of knew I was going to have success with because her sample photos are also in red, and I was like using a wool and a mohair, and like the black toggles are super cute. I wear this one all the time. I wear it out, I wear it to work, I wear it casually, I've worn it on like multiple trips. Like it has been the knitted piece that I bring to wear over and over and over on a trip. So cardigan number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear is an A. I think the yarn combo is just slightly off to be an A+. The way the buttons do up, I think it also brings it to an A rather than an A+. But cardigan number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear is definitely a winner, and one that I'm so happy to make, and one that I would consider making again in all reality because I wear this one so much. I think it'd be really nice as a neutral. So speaking of neutrals, this is my Cognac cardigan, and this is my favorite cardigan I have ever made of all time. This is my A+ cardigan. I reach for this cardigan all the time. I wear it all the time. I wear it closed as a top, I wear it open as a cardigan, I wear it in the summer, in the winter. It's light, it's comfy, it's neutral. We love the Cognac cardigan. Also, like my little buttons that I have on it are these like little goats on a farm. They're so cute, and like it's super wearable, it's super cozy, and it took me like no time at all to knit. I knit this using Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk and Drops Flora. So the yarn that I used is like super affordable. Like I think this cardigan costs like $30, $40 in yarn, which is like unheard of, you know. It's knit at a 6mm gauge. The construction of knitting this cardigan was super fun. It has lovely, clean double knit edging, which I just think makes any cardigan look so, you know, so beautiful. It has twisted rib. It has options, like you could do it with I-cords instead of twisted rib, which is honestly what I think I would do the next time I knit this cardigan. And I do have yarn in my stash to knit again. I'm thinking of doing it in like a chocolate brown color that I have. Maybe it'll get cast on this fall. We shall see. But the Cognac cardigan by Atelier Castin is an A+ cardigan. I think the biggest compliment I have received from this, and if you're around like teenage girls, you will understand the compliment of this. But I was working at a school, and one of my students comes up to me and asks if my cardigan is from Aritzia and what like style it is, like what's the model, what's my Aritzia cardigan, so she can go and get one. And I was like, no, I made this. And she was like, no way, that is crazy. And I was like, yeah. She's like, can you make me one? I was like, no girl, I cannot, but I could teach you how to knit so you can make your own. But the Cognac cardigan is 100% a repeat, and I haven't remade it in the cardigan sense, but I did make the Cognac pullover, and I also really love that. I'm doing a test knit for Talia Castin as well right now. But yes, this cardigan is a 10 out of 10, an A+, like an A++. Like it is exceeding expectations when it comes to a cardigan. I love her so much, and I also made her on the way to Montreal when I was visiting my best friend. And so it has like that little like memory woven into the fabric of this cardigan, and I just love that so much. But this is, if I had to tell like someone to knit a cardigan, like this is the cardigan pattern that they have to knit, hands down. So next on my cardigan list, I have the Eva cardigan by Petite Knit. This is a B+ cardigan. And I think part of that is that it's kind of like, it'll kind of fall off my shoulder sometimes, especially if I'm not wearing like a t-shirt on underneath it. I find that the button band kind of like rolls over onto the buttons, so that kind of deters me from wearing this a lot. But overall, it is 100% a cardigan that I reach for, and the yarn hasn't pilled too much, even though I've worn it quite a bit. I used Crea Deluxe Organic Wool 2, I believe is what it's called. I love the color, but yeah, there's just a few things about the fit that like, it became a little more oversized than I wanted it to because this yarn grew so much when I blocked it. Even though it is really relaxed and flowy, it kind of acted like a superwash yarn, even though it is not. And so because of that, it's just outside of the A category at a B+. But I would knit this sweater again. I think using the pure gint that she recommends would definitely be a viable option to get like the cardigan that you want to get out of it. I feel like when you go off yarn, like when you don't knit the recommended yarn, it's always kind of a mixed bag of what type of thing you're going to get. So on the Petite knit train, I have my Maggie cardigan that I knit this summer, and this cardigan is one that I love so much. I find the yarn, I knit this in Noro Silk Garden Sock Solo, I believe is what it's called. It's so magical. Like, look at this yarn. So this yarn is absolutely amazing. I would 100% knit with it. I'm so happy I chose to knit like a kind of basic cardigan with this yarn because I feel like it would have been like lost if I did anything with texture. But a Petite knit, like she just makes good patterns. Like there's a reason she is so popular. I chose the long sleeve version, which I am really happy with. I'm like getting a little toasty right now wearing this cardigan, but my Maggie cardigan, I give an A- too, because the only complaint with this yarn is that sometimes it irritates me just like the tiniest bit. But other than that, like it is an A-level piece. I just wish the yarn didn't irritate my skin just that tiny, tiny little bit. It's also, again, when I kind of get warm, but I feel like the sizing turned out well. I loved just like the basic silhouette of it. The contiguous sleeve in the shoulder is wonderful. And it's one that I would definitely knit again. I think it would be really cute in like a fun, bold color. I love seeing people that do like the Maggie with like a matching tank top underneath for like a cute little set. I think that would be really fun to re-knit. And so it definitely is like on my mind of how and when I could reknit this piece. So Maggie cardigan comes in at an A-. So another cardigan I knit this summer is my Talia cardigan, which is a Sandnes Garn pattern, and I knit this in Sandnes Garn Line, which is the recommended yarn in the pattern. I kind of altered this pattern. It's supposed to just have like a singular like string across to a button, but I did these little like the tie fronts on it that I think are super cute. The sleeves are not the same length, and so that is impacting my score of this cardigan. Again, it's one of those things where I can take back the right sleeve and knit it a little bit longer. It's also, again, like a fairly neutral ease piece, and so I just find I don't reach for my neutral ease cardigans as much. It is reversible, which I do like, and I don't know if it's meant to be reversible, but I will wear it reversible. But because of the sleeve length, I don't reach for it like all the time, and so I would like to like add something to it so they are the same length. Because they're not currently, it's coming in at a B-. I also just don't think that like, so I feel like I'm kind of squatting so I can still be in frame, but like I think it is wearable, but I just don't reach for it all the time. It's not as easy to style as say my Cognac cardigan, and like the sleeve length, and it's not knit out of a wool, and I like, sometimes I struggle with like, do I wear a tank top underneath it? Do I just like wear a little bralette underneath it for like a summer top? Anyways, it's coming in at a B- because there are things about it that just don't like pull me in the same way the other cardigans have. It just hasn't gotten that wearability out of it that I'm like really, really looking for. And my last cardigan of the day is technically a blouse, but because it is a like cardigan open closure style blouse, I'm grouping it in as a cardigan, and this is my Yuma blouse, which is my most recent cardigan. and this is by Knits for Days. It was a test knit. I knit it in Holscar and Tides, which is a wool and silk blend. This cardigan I reach for a lot. I love the fit. I love the like drapey sleeve. I think it's super cute. I like the length of this cardigan. I do find it's like really easy to wear and to style. I love the neutral color of it. And so because of all that, this cardigan is an A. It's missing that like A+ of the Cognac. I just think there's something so nice about a fluffy cardigan, and I do kind of wish I had sized down in it, but like I still do love the oversized look of it. But the Cognac cardigan I just think is absolutely perfect, which is why it is the only cardigan that is in that A+ level. But this Yuma blouse by Knits for Days is one that I do find myself reaching for. It is one I would reknit. I love the little closures that are here. Overall, I do just think this is like a wonderful cardigan, and I do really like it. It's a great rotation piece, and so it's coming in again at an A. So I felt like this was kind of a tiring video to film just because I had to do so much changing, and I'm not used to that. But it was also really fun to knit and to talk about and to kind of go down memory lane and also see how I've changed and grown as a knitter over time. And so if you want to be part of this journey and see what else I knit, cardigans and not, please subscribe so you can follow along. You can also follow along in closer time over on Instagram at the knitting page. But that is all that I have for today. And I definitely, after finishing this, am noticing a couple holes in my wardrobe. I don't have a colorwork cardigan. I don't have a textured cardigan. And so keeping that in mind, that may dictate what I cast on next when it comes to cardigans. So until next time, happy knitting. Goodbye.